You know what? We dunk on all states, you know what I mean? Indiana's getting dunked on, and every state from here on out is getting dunked on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today is a very exciting day here at Tossing Plastic because we are playing Commerce Park in Angola, Indiana. Yes, we have officially started the migration south. I hope you guys are as excited as I am, so sit back, relax, and let's go toss some plastic. And we've made it to our first hole in Indiana. We are playing Commerce Park, and we're starting off with a nice and simple, dead straight, 231-foot shot, and we are gonna go with our champion rhino. Oh, just go in already. Oh, hit the basket. Oh my goodness. First hole in Indiana, first basket hit. Let's get started. Great start. Hole 2, 366 feet, par 4, dead straight. The basket is on a bit of a hill, so a roll away is a real possibility, and we are going with the birdie strike. Come on, highs are back, highs are back. Oh yeah, that should be a tap in, I think. Really nice start. On these wide open holes, always make sure you focus and really try to work on your distance control, because when playing a tournament or anything of that matter, if you're left with a wide open shot, you really have to capitalize on it. Hole 3, 210 feet, dead straight downhill. This is not a gimme hole. There is quite a bit of hazard / swamp right around the basket. I am gonna go with the champion rhino. A lot of times when I choose the champion rhino is because this disc has no glide. It does not go far, nothing compared to the Envy. The Envy can probably go a solid 100 feet farther than the rhino. So if I'm really worried and touchy about distance, you will always see me pull this out. Settle. See, just like that, nice and perfect. The Envy would have just glided right into the swamp. Guys, that ditch right there, I'm not kidding you, is like 19 feet deep with water running through the bottom. I'm really glad that we stayed up here. You know what? We dunk on all states, you know what I mean? Indiana's getting dunked on, and every state from here on out is getting dunked on. As you guys can tell from the tee pad, they have a lot of these recently planted trees to make the holes more technical. So in a quick like 39 years, this is gonna be a really tough and technical course. But honestly guys, it is cool to kind of see how they have it laid out with the trees. And if I can get back to this some point way down the line, I'd love to check it out. Hole 4, 370 feet, slightly uphill. We are going with the big hyzer shot because we have this huge tree that's blocking the Annie or sidearm, and we are gonna go with the Firestorm because a full throw on this should match 370 uphill perfectly. Oh, I put too much turn on it. Get back, get back. All right, that'll be a long putt, not the best release. Our distance control was pretty spot on, but our release angle was way off. We've left ourselves probably 52 feet for the 2. Nope, that's not it. Not it. Hole 5, 447 feet, slightly downhill. We definitely are gonna go for this. I am a bit worried about that tree line on the right, and this tee pad is sloped downhill pretty hardcore too, so that may throw us off, but we are going with a full send with our champion boss. Yeah. Come on, fight back, get over the tree, get over the tree. Oh, really nice throw. This tee pad did throw me off quite a bit. This has a heck of a slope to it. If this hole was any farther, I probably would have went right to our Corvette, but at this distance, I felt pretty confident with the boss. Hole 6, 572 feet. I cannot see the basket because we have this huge hill that we have to get up and over. and it does taper off on the sides, so I am going to try to hug the right side so we don't need quite as much distance to get to the top. So I am going to go with our Proto Corvette. Oh, it's so bad. Roll up. That was a horrible tee shot. That happens sometimes with the Corvette. I just immediately overturned it. Really poor drive. Stopping halfway up the hill makes this approach shot so much more difficult. We have to add a lot more elevation to our throw, which cuts back our distance. We still have a good 300 feet, but because of that, I am disking up to a fairway driver. Plus, we have a really slick uphill run up. Very challenging shot. Hopefully we can get up and down. All right, I threw it right into a tree up there. Let's see what we have to work with. All right, guys, we did throw our disc right into this tree, but another reason I went with a more overstable disc in that situation is when you have those tricky, slippery uphill run-ups, you have a decent chance of grip locking, shanking, or a late release. And in that situation, we could not afford to overturn anything to the right. So by throwing more overstable, we knew that we'd finish left towards the basket. I read your comments, guys. You want more explanation? So there you go. I will continue to do it here on forward. 106-foot shot. I'm going with a little sidearm flick with my Justice. Go in. Oh, nice shot. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, but it is a holiday here at Tossing Plastic. It's New Hammer Day. I always love New Hammer Day, but they do take a while for me to kind of break in and get right, so the putting might be a little funky for a while. Hole 7, 306 feet. There is a dead straight, low ceiling kind of mid-range shot, and then you can hang out really wide with an overstable fairway, which is what I'm gonna do because it opens the ceiling up a lot more and there's less risk off our tee shot. I'm going with the Firebird. Oh gosh. Oh, really, really bad. Really poor tee shot. That Firebird just flew right out of our hands super early. We do have 165 feet left, and it does have to be a very low ceiling entry because the basket does have quite a few guardian trees. We are gonna go with our Rhino. Slide up there. All right, good, not great. Nice little par save there. Hole 8, it's only 214 feet, dead straight hyzer shot way downhill. I know you guys can't see anything from this camera angle, so I am going to bring it down there to try to get a cool catch cam. The mic is definitely not gonna reach that far, but hopefully you still get a pretty good shot. All right, Hunter, don't mess this up. Do not mess this up. Oh, fight back, fight back, fight back. All right, that looked pretty good. Hopefully it was a cool shot. Guys, I am absolutely shocked. The microphone did pick us up 220-ish feet away. That is way longer than the range it said in the instruction manual, so that does open up quite a bit of possibilities moving forward. Hole 9, 568 feet, way downhill. Everyone loves these kind of shots. The basket is tucked up in some trees, and I think now that we're out of Michigan, I am gonna put the Hades back in my bag. It was a great disc for these situations. I am gonna go with the Firestorm. I'm gonna put it on a huge turnover. I really can't afford to overturn anything because the disc will end up in a cemetery. So we are gonna go way more stable. Well, I have no idea where that went. I'm really glad we went with the Firestorm here. It could have used a little bit more height so we could catch this downslope. We have about 220-foot hyzer shot to the basket. It is tucked right behind that tree in front of us. Oh, get through it. Really bad shot. That was an absolute shame. We got a ton of distance on that tee shot, and we followed it up with a very poor approach shot. We still have probably 60 feet for the 3. Oh, don't hit the tripod. Yep, there it is. Pole line break, and first off, I want to start by saying how excited I am to be here in Indiana. I've heard a lot of great things. I've heard it's very similar to Michigan, but you guys don't have the Great Lakes, and instead of lush forest, you just have fields of corn. So Craig, why are we here? Why are we here? Here at Tossing Plastic, we are very excited to get to know your awesome and beautiful state of Indiana. Insert smile here. We are excited to play a lot of the courses that your state has to offer, as well as join your league nights and get to know you guys individually. Insert. We are very excited for this new chapter in Tossing Plastic. I hope you guys are as excited as we are. Go Hoosiers. Just kidding, guys. I am very excited. New state, new courses. If any of you guys are from Indiana, make sure you let me know and maybe we can get a round together. I'm very excited for this. Now let's go finish our round. Hole 10, 379 feet, and this is definitely a tricky one. We have to get up and over this hill right in front of the tee pad, and then from there it goes way downhill, and right behind the basket is a marsh. We are gonna go with our champion orc. We're not gonna throw it too hard because we don't wanna risk going past the basket, and we need to kind of step it up. We've had some pretty poor throws, so hopefully we can bounce back. All right, I'm not sure how short that's gonna be, but I'm happy with that throw. This is just how we drew it up, guys. We are quite a bit short, but as you can see, if you go deep at all, your disc is gone. So if I play this course again, I know I can push that boundary just a little bit, but for a first playthrough, I'm very happy with this. We probably have an 80, 85 footer downhill for the 2. That was an awful putt, but it's an easy 3. I will gladly take that. It's definitely not as bad as it looked from up there, but I'm still happy with how we played the hole. Hole 11, 263 feet, dead straight, way uphill, and we do have this tree right in the middle of the fairway. We are gonna disc up to a fairway driver because of the elevation. We're gonna push our Firebird way out to the right, and hopefully it crashes back in a good spot. And hopefully we can get a good throw with this. Otherwise, I'm probably just gonna stop with these new Halo Firebirds. The grip is awful slippery if there's any moisture in the air or on the ground, and they're hard to dry. So hopefully we can get a good one. I mean, that seemed as good as I could have hoped for. Let's go find out. Good, not a great throw. I was stuck in between this and the Kotuku. I do think the Firebird is the play. I just needed to push it out a bit wider, but we've left ourselves probably a 45 footer for the 2. Oh, come on, dang it. Hole 12, 578 feet, downhill. You have to force something over off of your tee shot. You cannot just hang straight. And guys, this course might not be the most exciting, but it is a ton of fun. These courses are definitely needed every once in a while to not worry about OB, being overly technical, just tossing some plastic and having a good time. We are gonna do a giant force over with our Firestorm again, just like we did a few holes ago. Let the wind flip over. That should be a really nice shot. We did not get a ton of distance off that tee shot. Like I said, we don't have the best disc for those kind of shots, and we are throwing into a straight headwind, but I'm still plenty happy with it. We still have maybe 175 feet for the 2. I am gonna go with the Kia. Get in there. Oh, we caught that little branch. Dang, that was looking so good. Hole 13, nice and simple, 193 feet, wide open, dead straight. We are gonna go with our Rhino again for distance control. Plus, with all this weird wind we have swirling around, the Envy can take off and start doing weird things. Definitely no ace run, but a textbook approach shot. Rhinos absolutely love those 200-foot shots. Hole 14, 322 feet. You can go with a dead straight, kind of last second right finish shot, or you can go with a big hyzer. The hyzer definitely suits getting to the pin better, and 322 is a perfect number for the Firebird, so this is a good and needed test for this new disc. Oh, I didn't go wide enough again. It is the perfect distance. I'm just not pushing that thing out wide enough, but we'll figure it out. Definitely a shot I expect us to be a little bit closer on, but we still have a decent little run for the 2, probably about 45 feet. Oh, nice run. Guys, from this angle down here, you can really tell how absolutely gorgeous this piece of property is going to continue to get as these trees grow. It is very, very cool. Hole 15, 307 feet. It shows it being a big ante shot, and the basket is tucked off to the right quite a bit, but the tee pad comes up far enough that you can just throw dead straight at it. I think this hole would have been way more interesting if the tee pad started where the back of it is, because then it does force you to push a big ante shot. But being that this is what it is, I am going to take my hex and just go dead straight at the basket. Man, we are not doing so well on this back 9. I'm not sure what's going on, but we got to find it and we got to focus up. I want to end strong. For some reason, we just didn't get any turn on our hex. We did not commit to our throw enough, and we've left ourselves about a 50-footer for the 2. I really hope we can knock this one down and keep that momentum moving forward. Oh, the wind just pushed that right down. Dang it. Hole 16, this is a tricky one, 487 feet. We are gonna try to go wide and go around all of these trees, because if we try to test any of them up the middle and we get caught up and land behind one of them, it will be very hard to get up and down for a 3. So we are gonna go with a wide firestorm. All right, fight back, get around it, crash in the fairway. Perfect, that's all we were looking for. Textbook tee shot there. I know it was nothing too exciting. We still have 174 feet into a headwind. We are gonna go with the Kia because we're gonna need that stability. Nice hole, we needed this. If you're starting to struggle a bit, just take a breath and talk yourself through each shot on the hole. Hole 17, 412 feet, dead straight. You do want to go with something a little more stable, because if you overturn it and land in that thick rough, it can be very hard to find your disc, especially if you're throwing a green and clear one. This branch hanging out in front of us off the tee pad does make this tee shot a little more tricky, but we are going to full send it with our boss. Well, we did catch that branch a little bit, and it did slow us down a little bit. We're gonna have a long one. Sometimes when I'm talking to you guys about the hazards off the tee, I talk myself right into throwing my disc at them. I threw the boss directly at that branch. We only got about 300 feet off of that drive, so we've left ourselves about a 95-footer for the 2. Oh, not a bad little run for the 3. And rounding off Commerce Park, we have hole 18, 553 feet, dead straight, but way uphill. I'm not sure where the basket is, so we're just gonna do a full send with the boss and go from there. All right, not a ton of distance, but that uphill made it play a lot farther. I was definitely throwing towards the wrong basket. I had a glimpse of this one from the tee pad. That is one thing to keep an eye out for when you're playing these wide open courses. It can be very easy to find yourself playing to the wrong one, but hole 18 is down there. It's about 220 feet, slight ante shot, and for the first time today, we are going with the Envy. Oh, it's getting so floaty. Yeah, that red Envy does not like the wind. We've left ourselves about a 17-footer to wrap up this fun day at Commerce Park. Oh, man, usually on the last hole they fall out, not in. Let's go. And that wraps up our first course in Indiana. And guys, overall, Commerce Park, it's just a simple and fun course, which every once in a while is definitely needed to kind of get your disc golf mentality back in order. You're not gonna come here to be fighting all these technical lines and trying to hone in a ton of shot shapes. You're just gonna come here to relax and have a good time. They have really nice tee pads, really nice DGA baskets, and simple tee signs that all just get the job done. And on the bottom of each basket is an arrow pointing you right in the direction of the next hole. This course is definitely not just some walk in the park either though. As you progress through it, there are definitely lines you have to hit. You have a little more freedom with them, but you are just not walking up and throwing dead straight on every single shot. Plus, it's gonna challenge you with elevation. A lot of those holes were way downhill or fighting up a hill right off the tee pad. Very good key factors to learn in your disc golf game. The other thing that you want to challenge yourself on a course like this is distance control. You never wanna walk up to a wide open 200-foot hole in your round and not be able to take advantage of it and get a birdie, save a par, or even an eagle with a great tee shot. Overall, I'm gonna give Commerce Park the very solid score of 7.5 out of 10. As you guys saw from the video, there's nothing too distinguishing or stand out about this course, but all of the fundamentals are there and it is very fun and very solid. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Now it's your turn to go toss some plastic.